This week's Torah portion, Hukat, I'd like to ask a simple question. Why is the Torah portion of Hukat connected to the Torah portion of Korach? No one asked this, so I thought, we should ask this. And I ask this because Hukat is a difficult Torah portion to understand, one of the most difficult. Some of the scenes here it almost feels like you're watching The Godfather, right? The operatic, the beautiful operatic music in the background, and all of a sudden it becomes dramatic and people start dying. Miriam dies, Aaron dies, and Moses is told, you're going to die as well. The Godfather is getting rid of everyone. It doesn't make any sense. Why all of a sudden? Add to this the scene of the hitting of the stone, right? Who doesn't know the story? God says to Moses and Aaron, take the staff and talk to the rock. Which, by the way, if you just want them to talk to the rock, why don't you just say talk to the rock? Why confuse them with take the staff? But never mind. And then we're told that Moses hits the staff and God gets upset. Rashi, when we read the commentators, it's even more complex and doesn't make even more sense. Rashi tells us, Moses tried speaking to the rock, but the rock was hiding itself amongst other rocks. Now, if this was such an important lesson for God to teach us, right, what was the lesson meant to be? Moses would speak to the rock, and the Israelites would see, just like there's a rock that can't speak but listens to God, so to us who have mouths and ears, we should listen to God. If it was such an important lesson, why not make it simple? Why not make it work? Because that's not what God's plan is. It's almost as if this whole Torah portion is about the Godfather. It's my way or the highway. Don't try and make sense of it. And it is a bit difficult to swallow that. So what's going on here? And how is Korach connected? How's Korach going to help us understand this? Later on in our Torah portion, there are two attempts where the Israelites are trying to bypass a certain king's land to get to Israel. In one attempt, it is Moses, the leader, who leads the show, and in one attempt, it's the Israelites. When Moses tries, he fails. King doesn't agree, we back off. When the Israelites try, because Moses is in the background now, this is the second attempt, the Israelites prevail, we beat the king, and we do what we want, we succeed. How are these two attempts, and why in this Torah portion do we have two attempts where the leader fails, the Israelites together succeed? How's it connected to the Godfather Torah portion where all the leaders are being knocked off? And how's this connected to Korach? Korach was a mamzer. Korach had an argument which wasn't really what he was arguing about, but he had a good point. I don't even think he realized it. Korach said, we're all kadosh. We're all holy. Don't try and, put yourselves above us, you leaders. We're all holy. Now, clearly Korach had other intentions, but his point was a good point. He said, we're all holy. God, in this week's Torah portion, almost echoing what Korach said. What happens after Moses hits the rock and God punishes Moses and Aaron? God says, if it only would have worked, vayikadesh bam. He's echoing Korach's words. They would have been holy. They would have realized that it's all about the people. It's not about the leaders. In this week's Torah portion, we learn that in Judaism, a leader, a tzaddik, is important, but only until the people are unified. People shouldn't be looking for leaders. They should be looking for unifying themselves. Sometimes we need a leader to help us do this. Miriam symbolizes life, right? The well that she brought us. And yet, when it was most important, she spoke slanderous words, almost got her own life done and someone else's life done. Aaron, who was in charge of peace, when we needed peace most with the golden calf and with the story with the water, he failed. Moses, whose role was to embed us with faith, also failed. I think what Korach's words, powerful words, the mums didn't even realize, was that the Jewish people only sometimes need leaders to kind of, to remind us. But in truth, we don't need leaders. We need a united people. That's most important. When we're united, we are holy. We can do anything, even without our leaders. Thoughts on the Torah portion of Hukat. Shabbat Shalom.